Hello, everyone. My name is Marcello Kolax, and I'm the managing director at Clever Markets. And today we're going to have a look at European energy markets starting for the week 4th of December 2023. I'm really looking forward to Christmas. I hope you are too. I'm definitely in the mood. I'll be setting up the Christmas tree this weekend. Okay, so let's have a look what the TTF is doing. All right, on the weekly chart, we do see that, yep, we did break below the channel for the very first time in quite a long time. And you can see in the previous weeks, I did still stick with the ascending triangle, which was this line here, and then I had a horizontal line here. But now this line was broken, and I feel that the channel is more representative of what we are trying to do here, so I changed it. Okay, so one break below the channel is worrying, but definitely, yeah, nothing to trade on right now. So in order for the bull trend to be deactivated, we want to see two consecutive closes, so two weekly closes below the channel. That's what we are trying to see here. Other than that, the bull market is still maintained. The next thing is we would turn bearish midterm if we push below 39.5. Can you see these levels are like very far apart? Of course, is the weekly chart. We would not trade on the weekly chart. It's just for us to get a broader overview of the market. Okay, so usually this hammer leads to gains. Usually it can spark an up leg, especially if it happens at such an important support level. So what are the tools saying for like supporting evidence? Well, usually we would like to see a bullish stochastic. Didn't happen. And we would like to see also for the uptrend to continue within the channel. I would like to see the MACD moving still higher, but you can see we are kind of flattening out. So I say right now, it seems more likely that we're going to push lower eventually. The channel, sorry, the hammer would be deactivated. So the bullish potential of the hammer would be deactivated as soon as we push below 39.5. It's kind of here as well. Yeah, so the low is 39.75 rather. And the bounce would be activated above 46.75. But if we look at the daily chart, we can see, the bounce is already happening. The bounce is already happening. So that isn't all too bad. So you can see channel here. It looks a little bit different, yeah. And we are bouncing, and usually we would like to see the correction top out below 47.59, because this would then still guarantee the flow of lower lows and lower highs. So yeah, probably judging from the stochastic, we might see a little bit more gains. That's where the high confidence is here, yeah. But as long as we top out below 47.59, there's still the chance for the downtrend to continue, because we are in a near-term downtrend. Okay, so what is happening on the 15-minute chart? This will give us usually like the earliest hints of what the market might be doing. And we can see that we have like a brand new, what is happening here? Okay, let's redo this. There you go. So we do have this ascending intraday channel as well. There's a lot of bullish channels here, isn't there? And we can see that, this here, the market seems to be topping out. We are not hitting the upper channel boundary anymore. Also, we do see that the MACD is kind of not making higher highs anymore. So that is not good either. So with this line here and this horizontal level, we did establish a ascending triangle earlier at the last week, and the target was generated at 46. So near 46, where is it? There you go, like 46, somewhere here. So we still have some room to grow, but it seems unlikely for now, because we are not hitting the upper channel boundary anymore. MACD is flattening off. So I do say that this morning I would like to see a break past 43.31, 44.15 to get an idea for a direction. But until that happens, you're probably moving a little bit sideways. But for me, ultimately, I believe that for now, we might be more likely to push lower eventually. So that's it. That's a TTF. We will see first weakness on the channel if we break or not, or we will continue higher. This would then lead to the the extension of the daily charts up leg, and that would then, of course, see us through the weekly chart to check if we are gonna actually like get a second weekly close below the channel. So that was it for the TTF. What is up with Brent? So on the weekly chart, we are still bearish. However, we are working at the moment through what seems to be like a little bit of a bottom. So we had 1, 2, 3 candles of hesitation where the market is trying to figure out a direction. So that is shown in the small bodies, but like the long wicks. So you can see we're really testing for direction. You can see that what is this? The orange one is the 8 exponential moving average offered resistance last week. So overall, the direction is still more likely to go down. Why is that? Because we do see that overall, we see that the MACD is still swinging lower. Also, we did close below its signal line, and we did close below the 0 line. So overall, it's looking fairly bearish. So I would expect a break below 76.6 to simply continue the downtrend. Here's the thing, yeah. So we are forming lower lows, okay, but we are also forming higher. Sorry, we are forming lower highs, but we are also forming higher lows. So that in itself might be a triangle. So what I did do, I tried to draw in a triangle here. Whoop, not this line. Let's try again with this. So we're connecting this line and this here, for example, yeah, here. So this is something to definitely keep an eye out. But for now, I do feel that this support level here at 71.4 seems to be a little bit more relevant. So zooming out, yeah, we can see that this here is happening. So yeah, do keep an eye out on this level here, 71.4, because if we break below this, then probably we will definitely be seeing more substantial losses. So we can say, so this is the midterm, but I would say like the midterm, long term is still bearish, neutral, but overall, yeah, I want to see a break below 76.6 for now. Okay, so what is happening on the daily chart? So on the daily chart, we are working in a channel. We did see, which is not quite a gravestone doji. For that, we don't want to see a lower wick at all. But the idea remains the same. Yeah, so the bulls tried to push higher, but in the end, we leveled off where we started. So this then, as expected, led to some losses on Friday. Again, you see overall within the channel, and especially below 79.13, I would expect the market to move lower. If unexpectedly we would make it above 83.4, then yeah, we'll retest the channel and then possibly undo the entire downtrend. But we are neutral within, I want to see on the daily chart, I want to see like this range here resolve. If you're a little bit more adventurous, then you can just put your range even here, make it a little bit tighter, yeah. But overall, I want to see this here remove before we turn bearish again. We are neutral for now. So on the intraday chart, we see that this gap here distorted the moving averages and a lot of tools for quite a bit actually. So this is still shaking out, but overall, what we are seeing is still lower lows and lower highs. So we ended last Friday on a little bit of an up leg, and the sentiment can change over the weekend, so I'm not too sure. So right now there is no preferred direction, but above 79.75, we could make it all the way to 80.37, but the idea overall is still to move a little bit lower. The downtrend would definitely continue below 78.74. All right, so that is it. So in summary, Brent, we don't really know where we'll start the week, but we will definitely take a lead from these important levels here. Overall, on the daily chart, the idea is still to move maybe a little bit lower. That is especially shown on the stochastic, forming lower highs as well. Yeah, the MACD peaking out a little bit, but we are neutral within this range or this range even. But we do see that on the midterm outlook in the weekly chart, yeah, the idea is also still to resolve the market lower, but we want to see is a push below 76.6 in order to make that happen. All right, and that is all for Brent crude. Before we move over to the next contract, I have a little favor to ask. If you find any of this useful, then please consider sharing it with your colleagues if you think they would get something out of it as well. Would really mean a lot to me. I'm just trying to spread some knowledge here, and if you want to learn more, go to clevermarkets.com. All right, now let's go on with the contracts. EUAs were quite interesting this week. So what we see here on the weekly chart is that we did break below the already descending channel. The downtrend simply accelerated. And you can see the downtrend in itself has been intact since March. And now breaking below an already descending channel means that the downtrend is accelerating. So the bears are growing more and more confident. But here's the thing. So I did mark out the peak and the trough of last week, and this will be an important levels or like important levels to take. Yeah, so a break above this could easily reintegrate the market into the channel, and we would still be able to swing lower, or the downtrend simply continues to accelerate. Well, looking at the tools, we do see that well the MACD has no interest in going higher anytime soon. Neither are the shorter term averages have any indication of pointing higher. And we do see that the stochastic itself is still bearish. So overall, the idea is that the market will continue to break below 70.43. That seems most likely, and then go down. An alternative would be that we bounce a little bit. So what's happening on the daily chart? So here we do see that we did have a morning star forming. So what's a morning star? Morning star is a bullish reversal candle pattern. So first we do need a downtrend, check. Then we do need a strong red candle, check. We need a little bit of a gap and a small bodied candle, check. And then we gap higher and have a green candle closing at least above the midpoint of the preceding down candle. So obviously we moved higher, check. So usually this would almost guarantee gains, at least for like 2-3 candles. So in this case, like 2-3 days. But is it confirmed by tools? Well, the stochastic shows, yeah, we did get a bullish signal, but possibly we will decline shortly thereafter. Why do I think that? That's because simply the MACD is still firmly bullish, and so are the moving averages. So now the only question is, how far will we retrace higher? Well, usually we go until the 61.8% FIB retracement. So we have a down leg here. So the assumption is that we could make it to 7474, nice number, all the way to the 61.8%. Sometimes we top out at 50% or even the 38.2. But it doesn't really matter. So the idea still is after this correction, we are most likely to go lower. And the waypoints are 7309, 7392, 7474. And what does that look like on the intraday chart? So here we do see that we have two scenarios, and both are leading higher eventually. So the preferred case is, since we already, so here's the thing, by the way, yeah. So we did have a downtrend going on, yeah, and this was the strong preceding downtrend. Then we did have the doji candle, yeah, the gap lower and everything, and now we had the red candle, the green candle. So it's like this V shape here, yeah? So it's this thing happening here. And now the question is, okay, so will we move higher or lower? Well, here we do see that the MACD and stochastic both are pointing lower. So we are very likely to see a couple of losses. So that's why this is this arrow, yeah? Possibly towards the 61.8% FIB. And then the question is, what happens then? Well, we could move higher. And that is still the preferred direction, because looking onto the hourly chart, so a little bit higher level chart in this case, yeah, the subsequent move higher is fairly likely because we just got a bullish signal on the MACD. So yeah, we will continue a little bit lower, possibly until here. That's also signaled on the stochastic on the hourly chart. But overall, the idea is still to move higher afterwards. So we could do possibly something like this, like higher highs and higher lows. Then we bottom out here and then we continue higher. And that would be in line with more, or at least mildly more gains after this morning star pattern. But once again, we don't know how high will we get, and ultimately the idea is still to move lower. So all of this will be, there you go, all of this, no matter how high we retrace, usually the idea is still to move lower thereafter. So 15 minutes is like pretty small time frame, but we will be very early. We'll be able to identify any sort of like divergence, not divergence. We would get early signals here very early, depending on whether or not we make like higher highs or higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs. And that is all for the EUA market. And that's it for this week's Outlook. If you found that useful, then please consider sharing it with your network. My name is still Marcello Colax. You can find me on LinkedIn. I am very active there. Every single day I post my thoughts on the European energy markets there. So do give me a follow, connect with me, and check out what else we have to offer at clevermarkets.com. Thank you very much and see you around.